All right, so we're diving into insurance premiums today.
Really going to break them down.
Yeah, like what are these numbers all about? And more importantly, how can we,
wrap our heads around them.
yeah, exactly. Like how can we understand them? How can we work with them? It's like a, subscription.
Safety.
That's a great way to put it. A subscription for your financial peace of mind. The stuff you sent over, it's really focused, which is great. Gives us a chance to really get into the nitty gritty.
Yeah,
Exactly. Deep dive. So we'll be able to see how all sorts of things you wouldn't even think about, can affect those insurance rates.
It's true. So many factors.
Before we go too far, let's just back up for a sec.
Yeah.
For anyone who, maybe isn't super familiar with this stuff.
Sure.
What exactly is an insurance premium?
So an insurance premium, it's basically the money you pay, right, to the insurance company.
Right.
And in exchange, they're saying, hey, if certain things happen, we've got you covered.
Gotcha.
Could be anything, a car accident, a house fire, even medical emergencies.
Yeah. And the idea is everyone kind of chips in, right? It's like pooling your risk.
I've heard that term, risk pooling.
Yeah, you're basically sharing the risk with a whole bunch of other people.
Right, like everyone's in it together.
Exactly.
Okay, that makes sense. But then how come everyone's premium is different? It's not like there's just one standard fee.
Right. It's definitely not one size fits all.
So what's the deal with that?
Oh, premiums, they're calculated, and it gets pretty complex based on a whole lot of different things. And it all comes down to how much risk do you as an individual represent?
Okay.
Higher the risk, higher the premium. That's the general rule.
So what kind of stuff are we talking about here? What makes one person riskier than another?
All right, let's start with some of the more personal things. Age, for example.
Okay.
Statistically speaking, younger drivers, they tend to get into more accidents.
Yeah, makes sense.
Health is another big one, especially for life insurance and health insurance, obviously.
Right. And then there's your driving record. That's a huge one for car insurance.
Of course. Yeah.
Had some accidents, speeding tickets, that kind of stuff. Well, that's a sign of higher risk.
Makes sense.
And believe it or not, even where you live plays a role.
Oh, really?
Yeah. If you're in an area with, say, a lot of natural disasters or maybe higher crime rates, you might see those premiums go up.
Wow, so even my zip code can affect how much I pay.
You got it.
That's crazy. But it's not all about me, right? There's got to be bigger picture stuff too.
Oh, absolutely. The economy, for example, that has a big impact. Inflation too.
Right.
Insurance companies, they're always looking at trends, trying to figure out where things are headed.
Yeah, they got to stay ahead of the game.
Exactly. And if those external factors make it more likely that people are going to file claims, well, then premiums have to go up to make sure there's enough money in the pool to cover everyone.
Okay, that makes sense. But now I'm starting to feel a little helpless. Like, what can I actually do to manage these premiums?
I hear you. It can feel that way. Like you're at the mercy of all these forces.
Yeah.
But you're not powerless, I promise. There are definitely things you can do.
Okay, good.
So first thing, think about your risk profile. Like we talked about, driving record's a big one, right?
Yeah.
Safe driving habits, taking a defensive driving course, those can really help.
Makes sense.
And your health, that plays a role too. Healthy lifestyle, that can make a difference, especially with health and life insurance.
Okay, yeah.
Regular exercise, healthy weight, not smoking, these all lower your risk, and that can mean lower premiums.
Huh. So all those New Year's resolutions, maybe they're worth it after all.
You got it. And here's another one that might surprise you. Credit score.
My credit score.
Yep. Statistically speaking, people with good credit, they tend to file fewer insurance claims.
Really? I had no idea.
So good financial habits, they can actually help out with your insurance too.
Wow, I'm learning so much today.
So it's about minimizing risk wherever I can.
But what about the policy itself? Is there anything there that I can change to affect the premium?
Absolutely. When you're choosing coverage, really think about your needs and your tolerance for risk. For example, higher deductibles, those usually mean lower premiums.
Okay, yeah, I've heard about that.
But it's a trade-off, right? You're paying less up front, but if something happens, you got to pay more out of pocket.
Right. So it's like choosing between a higher monthly payment and a bigger down payment.
That's a good way to think about it. And don't forget about shopping around.
Oh, right, yeah.
Don't just automatically renew your policies every year. Get quotes from different companies, see what they offer.
Good point, yeah.
You might be surprised by how much the premiums vary, even for the same exact coverage.
It's like anything else. A little comparison shopping can go a long way.
Exactly. And one last thing, remember, the cheapest policy isn't always the best. You got to find that balance between what it costs and what it covers, what makes sense for you.
That sweet spot.
Yeah, find your sweet spot.
All right, so the big takeaway here is knowledge is power.
Absolutely.
The more you understand about these premiums, how they work, the better choices you can make.
Definitely.
And, this whole risk assessment thing, it's not just about insurance, right?
No, not at all.
It applies to so many other financial decisions. Investing, buying a house, even planning a big vacation.
All of that, yeah.
Knowing how to think about risk, how to make informed choices, it can make a huge difference for your overall financial well-being.
Couldn't agree more.
So that's our deep dive for today.
Yeah, we covered a lot.
We hope you learned something new and that you're feeling empowered, not overwhelmed when it comes to insurance.
That's what we want.
Thanks for joining us.
It's been a pleasure.